be.
What is up, nigga?
Welcome to my second YouTube video. Sorry about that. My name is Nair, and in this video we're going to take a look at the 10 most underrated exercises which you should include in your workout routine.
Now, was that intro a little too dramatic? Yeah, fuck man.
I'm too afraid of my heart to let you go. Waiting for the fire to light.
Okay, so the first exercise is for a tricep, and it's called elbows out tricep extension. This exercise specifically targets the medial head of a tricep, and it's a great exercise if you want to improve the lockout on your bench presses. The next exercise is one of the most underrated exercises for me personally. All are, but this one is highly underrated. You don't see a lot of people do this exercise in most gyms. The face pull works your rear deltoid, also works your rhomboids and rotator cuff muscles. It's a great exercise for treating and preventing an extremely common problem which most lifters face, that is of the rounded shoulders. I have rounded shoulders myself, and I make it a point to start my shoulder routines with some face pulls.
When the daylight comes, you feel so cold. You know, I'm too afraid of my heart to let you go.
Okay, next exercise is one of my personal favorites, the barbell pullover. This exercise targets your lats, also gets a little bit of your chest and shoulders. I do not recommend you go heavy on this, as the shoulder is prone to injury because your arms are so extended. So make sure to use light weights and do this exercise at the very end of your workout as a finisher when your muscles are already warm. I mean, you don't want to be messing with the shoulder joint without adequate warm up, trust me.
Waiting for the fire to light. Feeling like we could do right. Being on the race tonight. Freedom is a lonely road. We're under control.
The kettlebell swings. The kettlebell swing is based on the deadlift movement pattern and hits almost every muscle in the body. Not kidding, I'm talking about the posterior chain. Cues for this exercise is to hinge at your hips, push your butt out as much as possible while maintaining neutral spine. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. And if you had to pick one exercise out of all the kettlebell exercises, then kettlebell swings would get you the most quote-unquote bang for the buck. So please include them in your routine.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart.
This one is pretty old school. I believe that it's from the 18th century. Now don't ask me why it's called the Zottman curl, because I don't know. This exercise also works your forearms along with your biceps. I recommend you to do it with both hands rather than alternate arms, and focus on the negatives and keep the movement slow and controlled. And also to remember, if you have weak wrists and elbows, you're better off starting with a lighter dumbbell.
I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you.
The leaning side lateral is a fantastic exercise to target your medial deltoid. Now you may ask this question as to why should I lean when I can stand normally and do this. The leaning position creates leverage, which actually isolates the shoulders more. I mean, you can do this exercise normally standing as well. They work the side delt, but from experience, I've learned that the further I lean, the harder the exercise gets. This one is something you have to try for yourself. Few things to remember though. Always make that mind-muscle connection and take it very slow at first, and make sure you use the right amount of weight that you can do with perfect form, yeah? Because this one burns like hell. This one is for your forearms. It's another variation to the pinch plates exercise. You can do this at the end of your forearm or your bicep workout, and always remember to keep your feet tucked in together and aim for as many reps as you can.
Stars should never leave you.
Another one for you curl warriors. The crossbody hammer curl is another variation for your hammer curl. The hammer curl in general hits the brachialis muscle, the muscle which separates the bicep and the tricep. But this one also hits the brachioradialis, the outer part of the bicep which connects your forearm. Cues for this exercise would be to keep your dumbbell as close to your body as possible, and elbows very stable. Squeeze your bicep at the top, and make sure to focus on your negatives and get the dumbbell slowly down.
When night has become the day, they're sending you far away.
The ab roller is sort of an advanced exercise which hits the abs. I'll show you an easier version of this exercise in a bit. But the ab roller works your core muscles in your lower torso. Key things to remember for this exercise would be to breathe in as you go down and exhale as you come up, and focus on your midsection to help you get back up rather than your upper body. Also to remember is that if you have any back problems, it's best to stay away from this exercise.
Yes, we are.
The Swiss ball ab rollout. This is an easier version compared to the ab roller, and if you still find it hard, try using a bigger Swiss ball, because the bigger the ball, the easier it is. And keep your arms and legs further apart, which gives you a wider base of support for greater stability. And if you want to make this exercise more challenging, try using a smaller ball or kneel on a slightly elevated platform. One important thing to remember throughout this exercise is to keep your core engaged at all times.
When you wanna get off the ground, but gravity pulls you down. Gravity pulls you down.
The barbell hip thruster works your glutes mainly, but it also gets a little bit of your hamstrings. This exercise improves stability to the core and low back also, but this exercise primarily focuses on the glutes as it's in constant tension throughout the motion. You can either do this exercise on a bench or on the floor. One very important thing that you need to remember when you're doing this exercise is to not make eye contact with anyone around you.
This is real. That's what we are made of. Yes, we are.
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Peace!